Waiting on Brother Ron to get ready. Let's play some songs off the Rebirth album. We're gonna play some songs off of this album. Somebody's view who just joined. We're gonna play. Okay, they're wrong. All right. Hey Ron, send a request. Yeah, send it. It's waiting for you to send it. Hold on. Hey man.
You see me? Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Never what? I'm ready.
All right. God bless you. You doing okay today?
Yes, sir.
Amen. That's what's up. Good to see your face.
It's good to see you too.
Likewise, amen. We just always just want to let you know that we appreciate everything that you do. Being a young man and favoring traditional gospel music or quartet music. This day and time, a lot of the younger generation, a lot of them don't listen because the way the radio is now it plays a lot of the music, and they don't really do a lot of the quartet music anymore. Just mainly the mom and pop stations. So we just thank God for you and what you're doing to help keep us alive. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Brother Ron, tell us a little bit about the Rebirth.
Well, that CD there was a CD that we did after Joe LeGun got sick, and we put the CD out in 2016 of December, shortly after he passed. That CD dropped, but unfortunately, a lot of the business wasn't handled correctly, so we had to kind of pull that CD off the shelf. Yeah. But you have a CD that was sold. It was out in the store, but we had taken out of the stores.
Oh.
Yeah.
But this album actually is a hit. It done really good for y'all.
Yeah, it was a good record. We did it, and it turned out good. It just, business don't always be correct when you're doing things, and so we just kind of had to pull it off the market, management and so. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and do some of those songs. Some of those songs I probably won't get a chance to do, but I will go back and do some of those songs because God has taken me to another place in writing, and so I have so many other songs to present to the world as well. A lot of great music ready to happen. Yeah, so yeah.
So, tell us your story. How did the crowd? How did you get? What was your first album? Well, how did you get with them first?
Well, it's a long story. I try to, make it brief as I can. I got with the Clouds. It started out really. I have to go back. The Clouds was my daddy's favorite group. Okay, as a kid. So, coming out as a kid, listening to music as an infant, it was nothing but the Mighty Clouds of Joy in our home. Okay, we had the staple singers because those are our cousins. But the only quartet group that we really had in our house was the Mighty Clouds of Joy. Every record that they had recorded, me coming out being born, my daddy already had every record. So he might have had just one record on the keynotes or one record on the violinaires, but it was the Mighty Clouds of Joy in my house, period, over the staple singers, okay? So at the end of the day, it was just my dad's favorite group, and my mother could sing, so my mother would be singing and listening to Joe LeGun, and me coming up under all of that, I took to Joe's voice as a kid. So being 4 or 5 years old, I started trying to sing like his records. I was trying to imitate him as a baby. You know what I'm saying? Coming up. So long story short, it paid off. My father took me to my first Mighty Clouds of Joy concert in 1975. I was 75. I was I was 5 years old, and when I went up to Joe, even being a kid, I was just so fascinated with seeing him after hearing his voice, all of those, records that I was hearing, being so young, and how powerful his voice was. I just want to say, hey, I like your singing and this and that. But what happened was every concert that they came to Milwaukee, every year that they came to Milwaukee, my dad took me to the Mighty Clouds Drug. So Joe LeGun actually watched me grow up because every year they would come on tour, I would be there. So, and I would go follow him. And always, me and my brother telling him we could sing, we want to sing with you one day, and all of this. And it paid off. 1995, he called the promoter here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and asked the promoter about me and how could he reach me. And the promoter knew my family very well. So he contacted my mother and told my mother that Joe LeGun was looking for me and he wanted to talk to me. Me being at this time 24 years old, I got real excited when my mother told me the news. Once I got home, I wasn't there. But once I got that news, I was so excited. I told my mother right away, I said, Mother, I said, Mom, I said, Joe LeGun, he don't want to talk to me. I said, he want to talk to me. He ready for me now. That's what it is. He's ready for me. So she said, what? I said, yeah, he's ready for me. And that's exactly what it was, because when they came to in 1995 to take me along with them, I auditioned that night. And, I walked in the dressing room and he was like, you that young man? I was like, yeah, that's me. He said, you still singing? I said, yes, sir. He said, you still sing my style? I said, yes, sir. You my idol. You the only man that I pattern my style after. And so he was like, well, I tell you what. He said, well, I'm getting old now. And, I asked God to, let me find someone to help me out because I'm getting older. And the first person he put in my mind was you and your brother. That's what he said to me. I said, wow. I said, out of this big world, Joe LeGun thought about me and my brother. You know what I'm saying? So, what ended up happening was he said, well, I'm going to call off a couple songs. And he called off Heavy Load and Came to Jesus. And he asked me, he said, which one of these songs do you like? I said, well, I like both of them. He said, well, if I call you on stage tonight, would you be scared? I said, no, I won't be scared. And he said, which song would you prefer to sing? So I told him I prefer to sing I Came to Jesus. So he ended up preaching I Came to Jesus up real good and gave me the microphone, and the rest has been history. 25 years now. Yeah, 25 years. Yeah, so I give God the glory for the experience of meeting Joe and following him around as a kid and him being my idol. And, my dreams as a kid was to sing with the Mighty Clouds of Joy. That's why, if any kids and children and teenagers that's looking to, sing and things like that, get into gospel singing. If you have a dream, whatever it is, don't ever give up on your dream. You know what I'm saying? You could achieve whatever you want to achieve if you put your mind to it. And I just thank God that He allowed me to see myself as a child singing with the Clouds, and it ended up happening where I end up getting with them for real. So dreams do come true. They do come true. So yeah, hold fast to your dream and seek it out, and don't go right to the left. Always keep straight. So don't deviate off the course. You know what I'm saying? Because trials and tribulations going to come. But at the same time, just stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize, man. I tell you, it's been a blessing. Now, like I say, it's 25 now and 8 CDs. That would have been 9 CDs that I would have been with the Clouds, but 8 CDs that I recorded. Out of the 30, I believe they recorded about 38, some 35, 6 records. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of history.
So,
there's a lot of records.
Do you mind if we play a couple of songs off the Rebirth?
Sure, yeah, yeah, it's yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
I'm like,
it's still me singing. It don't
oh
change
yeah,
the fact that it's my voice, it's my background, you know, and some of it, whatever you play, it could be my music arrangement. If it's other side, that's definitely my song that I wrote, and the song "Lord Help Us," I wrote that song on that record too. So yeah, and I rearranged. I've been in a storm too long. That was the one that I
oh yeah,
changed because I heard it my way. You know what I'm saying? God let me hear. God, he let me hear things too. So I don't want to change it too much, but I did change the background of the original Been a Storm Too Long. I wanted to put my own spin on it. I did want to do that. But yeah, what you gonna play, buddy?
I'm thinking about track two, the Juice to Set You Free.
Okay. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a
All
classic.
right,
Clouds. Yes, sir.
here we go. Drown the sorrows when the bombs get lost in direction. Down in the air, in the sand. And make them see. Oh yeah.
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 Everybody stop lying. That
So,
was fun. That was a fun song
oh
to
yeah.
read through.
So, Brother Ron, what was your very first album that you was on with the Clouds?
My first CD actually was Together as One. The Mighty Clouds of Joy, the Williams Brothers, Slim Supreme Angels.
Oh.
That was my first CD with the Clouds. That came out in '96. No, that came out in '95 when I got with them that year. And then we recorded right after that live in Charleston, which was in '96. And my first song that they actually let me sing with Joe was Another Blessing.
So,
Written by the Williams Brothers.
oh.
Yeah. Another Blessing was written, I believe, by Melvin Williams. Yeah. From now.
So, I gotta ask you about the album called At the Revival. Are you on it with them? This one?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I heard you sing
I'm
it.
on the back wall back down there. I wasn't wearing my beard back then. So I look.
Oh, I see.
My face is different. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on that
record.
That was the last record that I sang with Michael Cook. You know the history of the Mighty Clouds of Joy. That was a record that he actually passed on. It was crazy. I'll never forget that experience. Being in the studio with Mike. I don't know what was going on in that session, but I just felt like he wasn't coming back. I don't know what feeling or intuition of things. I don't know what it was. It was so weird. I never will forget the feeling. It was crazy, but yeah, and it actually he didn't come back. It was a crazy, eerie feeling after leaving that studio. I never will forget that. Never will forget it. Yeah. But that was a great experience working with Raphael Saadiq. You know, he is a giant in the R&B secular realm. And, you know, he started in gospel as well. Raphael Saadiq, you know, his roots is in gospel music. No doubt about it. So a lot of the R&B secular artists get their start out of church. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Yes, absolutely. It starts right in church, man, before they get known like that or, you know, get to write no songs. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. My family, the Staples singers, they started gospel. Well, Mavis Staples is still gospel. They weren't secular, but they still is a gospel group. They always stayed true to their roots as a gospel group, but they were known and crossed over in the secular arena. Absolutely. But
brother, at first I didn't know that you was kin to the Staples Singers. I didn't know you was kin to them at first. I said, because Deborah has told me, Miss McGon told me that you was kin to them.
Yeah. My cousins, absolutely. My dad, he had a chance to play bass for them, but at the time when Pop Staples came to him and asked him to do it, my father had just received Christ, and he said he didn't want to, and he had just gotten married to my mom, and he didn't want to go on the road just getting saved, just getting married. He felt like he wouldn't have made it that way, so he didn't go. You know what I'm saying? He turned down the opportunity, and he became a bishop. But my father, he became a bishop, so he's retired now. But you know, God sees and God knows. So we thank God that he didn't do it, and he had a great life in ministry, that's for sure. And he been a blessing to many people, being a pastor and a leader. So we thank God for my dad and being bloodline to the Staples. Because had it not been for Dad and being related to the Staples, there wouldn't be no me as Ron Staples.
Okay. But do you mind to play some music off of this?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna let you choose the song off of this album.
Well, I don't know the number, but the song that I wrote, it will be "He'll Fix It For You."
That's track 6.
That's why I wrote it. Let's go with it.
Track 6, He'll Fix It
Let's
For
go.
You.
Yes,
And you know, most people don't even know about this album. They don't even know it's on Amazon or nothing.
Yeah. You know, later in the clouds, you know, recording history and things like that with record companies. I always have some of the best representation later on down through the years. So yeah, that was it was a good record. It was a decent record. I mean, the name of the record with Raphael Saadiq producing it was the best thing behind it, I think. But you know, everything else, it's what it was. Business wasn't even right on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the mix is the way it is. You know, I never did really like the mix of that record. I can't stand the mix of that record. But later I found out after complaining that business wasn't handled right after I went to someone and shouldn't have, probably been talking so fast, not knowing what. But I was so angry that the mix wasn't right. I had to speak what I felt. I'm saying I've always been transparent. I've always keep it real. So I did that, and but sometimes talking too much can mess up relationships. But at the end of the day, I feel like this phone's buffering. I don't know if I'm being still recorded or what, but it's doing something different. But at the end of the day, I thank God that we have the opportunity to work with Raphael Saadiq.
Okay, so let's go ahead and play track 6. He'll Fix It For You.
We back.
Okay, here we go. Everybody, just That's what they do. Turn things around, boy. When you fall, I mean, what happened? When you Yes, good, brother Rob.
Yes, sir. He'll fix it. He'll fix it. He'll fix it. Yes, he will.
I like that song.
You like it? Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Up. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
So, I gotta ask you this. What is your favorite album that you made?
The favorite album that I made with the Clouds?
Yeah.
It probably would be Live in Houston.
Oh yeah, I know that album. I don't have it though. I wish I had it.
Yeah, that will probably be my favorite album on the Clouds. That I was on. But something that I wasn't on would be automatically, hands down, Pray For Me, the heavy record. I Got One Thing and Showing Each Other Love and all of those great big songs. You Think You're Doing It on Your Own. That's a big record. That record won a Grammy. That was the last Grammy that the Clouds won in '91 from that record. That's my all-time favorite record on the Clouds. And I think it was only like 9 songs on there, but it was a big record. Absolutely.
So let me ask you about this All That I Am Chapter 1 album. How did y'all, what made y'all want to record this? How did y'all get it?
Well, that right there was another situation with the record company. You probably don't know the history of James Bullard. James Bullard was someone that discovered Lee Williams. He made Lee Williams famous, okay? But before he made Lee Williams famous, he was the man behind the scenes, helping making the Clouds famous all of those years with Word Records. A little history for you. Bullard worked at Word Records, but he left and started his own record label. I believe it was called Majestic Records or MCG Records or something. And he pretty much presented Joe a deal at the time when the Clouds was kind of going through different changes of record companies. So he came to Joe and talked to him, and Joe worked it out, and they worked it out, and we ended up recording that record in 2013, I believe, of September of 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a fun record to do, though. It was fun.
Yeah, I love the cover of it.
Yeah.
Man, those suits are bad with y'all.
Yeah.
I said my boys went all out with these suits.
Yeah. I remember going to pick them suits out. Yeah, that was a fun moment. Everybody, the whole group together. going to shop for this the album cover and all that stuff. That was a fun. Absolutely, Joe. He's a
Songs on
character
this
all
album
within
too.
himself. He's always fun, hilarious. Say it again.
There's a lot of good songs on this album too. A lot
The last was breaking up. I'm sorry, me understand you, but you said it was a good record. Yes,
oh,
that's
yeah.
a good record. Yeah, All That I Am
It's
and Man, You Better Run, and of course, remaking Kane's Heavy Load, and I put the little reprise on Heavy Load. Oh, praise, good God, is it the
that song.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. The exhortation I called it. Yeah, absolutely, an Amazing Grace. Um, that arrangement that I did with the background and all of that. That's yeah. Joe allowed me to be free. I think not taking no credit to myself or anything. I think I was probably one of the most freest members to kind of do work in the studio and get on records in my time of being with the Clouds, because it's just unheard of to get on a Cloud record. You don't write on a Cloud records. It just didn't happen like that. But I thank God for the opportunity that they opened that door for me to actually be able to write on their records. Yeah, Zach and Joe, Zachary Clipman and Joe LeGrand, they opened the door for me to do that. So I'm grateful for that, because a lot of the singers in the group never ever got that. You know what I'm saying? They never got that. So I'm grateful for that. So, but that's a bad record. That is a good record. That's our last record. As a matter of fact, that's my last record. That's the last record that we did with Joe LeGrand being alive. Absolutely.
I heard it was his very last live recording.
That was his last live recording. Now he didn't record no record after that. He probably went in the studio and sung on something or guest on somebody, but that was his last record.
Oh.
Absolutely.
But he kept it though.
Yeah, that was his last record.
He kept it now.
Yeah. Fond memory. Oh yeah. We got some great memories traveling all out the country and Spain, Europe, England, and Brazil, and oh man, then they've been so many other places before my time. It's just unreal. Africa, I haven't been to Africa yet. I was going to go to Africa. We was going to go to Africa this year had not coronavirus came. We were due to come. Well, actually, I was not the group, but I was due to go to Africa to sing. A Man Loved the Clouds, and because of Joe LeGrand and me being the lead singer now, he wanted me to come over and sing on his record to represent the Clouds. So, but it didn't work out because of the coronavirus and everything. So I'm hoping to trust in 21 that we'll be able to do that, because I want to get to the motherland. That I want to do. I want to experience that.
So, what is your favorite song off of All That I Am?
It probably would be All That I Am.
You want to play it?
It probably would be All That I Am.
Oh yeah, I like it too. I love that song too.
Yeah, because it All That I Am comes from a record that was recorded in let's see, about 88, 89. 89, that record was recorded. So if you go to the what song, the record, the Night Song CD. Look up YouTube, go on look up Night Song, Mighty Clouds of Joy Night Song, and you'll get the original All That I Am. And all of the songs that came off of that, which one of my, you go to it and play it, you definitely could play Keep Trusting in God, All That I Am, of course, again. And they got some other good ones on there, like Fell in Love with Jesus One Day, It Came to Pass. Some great songs on that record.
Oh yeah.
Do you
want
deep rivers,
play?
Deep rivers.
Yes.
A few teardrops. Bad songs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So Do you mind if I play All That I Am?
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hey. It's been a while since I played the CD stuff.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Track All That I Am. Hey, that guitar sound good, brother Ron.
Thank you, brother.
You what?
I think it's in A flat. Or B flat.
Thank you, Lord. I've been going home.
honored to be singing background behind Joe Lagun, man, for 20 years. One of his main background guys and his relief guy. Yeah, I'm honored. Honored with him. Yes, indeed.
I love it. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this. This is coming from me, Brother Vaughn. You sound just like Brother Joe.
Oh man, God bless you.
I see him.
I ain't gonna lie, I studied him because he told me when my very first show going to the clouds was in Sanford, North Carolina for their 35th anniversary at that time. I couldn't quite sing yet. He hired me, and I couldn't sing quite yet, but he told me, he said, what I need you to do now, since you're here in the group, you sit down, you pull your seat up beside the drums, and watch me. Learn all you can. So before I even started singing, he had me just sitting on stage watching him. Watching the things that he did and how he was doing whatever he did, set up the house or whatnot. He had me watching him and learning. So, yeah, I studied him. But then I studied as a kid, too. It didn't start there. It started early on because I don't get hoarse singing Joe Style. There's a lot of people try to sing Joe Style, emulate him, imitate him, or whatever word is, and they get hoarse. I get hoarse when I do it. I've been doing it for so long. It's just a part of me now. So, and you hear it in certain spurts. You don't always hear it come out of me because I don't always try to walk in as you can't. He's too great of an icon, too great of a singer. There's no way you could be Joe Lagun. I just loved his singing style so much until I tried to pattern my style after that hard growl, that rough. I wanted to get that because I felt like it was a weapon. I felt like that was a weapon that he had over singers. Absolutely, because all of them can't do that. They can't growl, they can't squall, and they don't have a high range. His range was so high, he could hit just about any note he wanted to hit with a raspy, rugged, rough sound. Just grit. He was grit. So he was a person that studied the house, and he literally was what you call a house wrecker. Period. Absolutely. He's gonna wreck your house every time when Joe Lagun get that microphone. That's how powerful he was, because he had so much voice, and that's why they had to put him on the end. That's why he had to close the shows, because could nobody out sing him or outdo him.
True.
So they had to put him on the end, because if you put him on the front, everybody would leave. If you had to put him on the end just to leave him for the main attraction, because he was going to kill you even on the end. So that's how powerful he was, you know. So I got a lot to learn that way as far as being a lead singer and all of that, you know, the tactics, and, you know, just know all of that, you know. But God got me, and I thank God for the opportunity, and just to have the opportunity to do this right now. You know, so many could have been chose to do it, but I thank God that he chose me to do it. You know? Absolutely. From birth. Because had it not been chosen from birth, I would not be here. I would not be sitting here in these shoes of even trying to sing the Mighty Clouds Joy Style or being in the group all of those years. I wouldn't even been a part of that history. But God, he ordered my steps. And I thank God for that. And I'm still here. And I plan to keep on going and keeping the legacy alive and keep bringing out good music to bless the world, to be a blessing to many. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, LeBron.
Yes.
Can I ask you about Down Memory Lane Chapter 2? This album.
Down Memory Lane. Okay. Well, that's part 2 of
the live recording.
Of the live record. Songs at night. Because what ended up happening, the guy that owned the record company, he wanted to get the Clouds catalog. So a lot of those catalog songs was all of those songs from the 60s. I will stand and all that. No.
Yeah.
White Ride Somewhere, Another Day Journey, all of those songs. And he wanted to record that to have that on his label. So we had to do all those songs plus whatever we did. That was a lot. That was a that was a lot of work on that record.
Wow.
A lot of work.
And I like the way on Down Memory Lane Chapter 2, I love the way how you sang God Can.
Oh, well, thank you. I received that. I appreciate it. Like I said, it was a lot of work off. Could you hear me right now? Because my phone buffering. But yeah, it was a lot of work at that time, man. And the rehearsal, everything. When I did God Can, a lot of people probably didn't know, but a lot of my main people that know how I sang, they knew it. But a lot of people didn't realize. But I was hoarse. I was hoarse that night. The recording, I was hoarse. I overdid so much rehearsing, teaching parts, and I should have been more laid back and resting because we rehearsed all the way up until 3 days before it was time to do that recording. Yeah, it was a lot of work, man. It was a lot of work.
Boss man must have had y'all busy.
Yeah, and when he didn't rehearse, a lot of people see a lot. Like I would do a lot of singing because some rehearsal late. Yeah, just that's what he was. Couldn't nobody say nothing to him. So a lot of times he would just tell me, Ron, you sang my part until I get there. So I had to be holding up his part until he get there. And then when he come, then I got to get in the background. And so I got to change my voice textures. And yeah, it was a lot. I did a lot on that record. A lot. There was a lot of preparation. And when it was time to record that record, I was tired. I was just tired. Yeah. But we got through it, and thank God for it. It's my last record with Joe LeGun, and his last record down here on this earth. And we just thank God for his legacy and everything that he brought to the table with gospel music. Just a God, he's an icon, man. You know, I say he's like the Michael Jackson of gospel of quartet music, because there's nobody bigger than Joe LeGun.
Yeah.
Before there was Kirk Franklin and Yolanda Adams, it was the Mighty Clouds of Joy and Shirley Caesar. Period. There was nobody else like that. You still had other groups like the Hawkins and like that, and the Winans came along. The contemporary side started coming in, but before that, it was the Mighty Clouds of Joy and Shirley Caesar. That's exactly. Those were the headlining artists of my time coming up. It didn't get no bigger than that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So y'all that are watching this awesome interview, you can get All That I Am off of Amazon, right, Brother Ron? It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They still can get
Miss Deborah LeGun actually got me this. I want to thank her again so much for sending me the CD. It's a combo set, CD and DVD. I watch DVD almost every night. I fall asleep on the good part. And I wake up in the morning, I'm looking at the TV and Joe LeGun just to singing. I said,
yeah, it's a sign.
I still got this on.
Somebody sang to that, man. Ooh, man, good God. That's who inspired to do this, but my battery is definitely getting low.
Ooh.
How much longer do you plan on doing your interview?
We're gonna play one more song. We're just gonna play God Can, and then no. All right, so let's just play God Can.
Uh-oh, now it's trying to fall. Yeah, I charged my phone before I got on here. Thought it was good, but it's these are iPhone, man. I don't know.
Oh, iPhone. Okay, is God Can.
My lighting would change too, so I know the battery getting low. Yeah.
You ready? Brother Ron?
Yes, sir.
Brother Ron. All right, here we go. That man can do. He can sail through the air. But no man can do a lot of things. Stop the thunder. He's limited. Not so many change that's going can he raise man from the bottom? But I know tonight that I mean, you know I can, yeah. I wish I had a witness here tonight. Oh, yeah. I gotta sing another word. Yeah. Dance is a mess. Everything, yeah. And forever, the kingdom there. He is the king, yeah. No man can do just about anything. I'm not prepared that God is the master. That he's always gonna be the king. Come on, cloud of heaven. I wanna know, king, man. King, the wild west. King, rules. Somebody somewhere I know who can. Can I get on this tonight? Anybody trying to anybody know what yourself tonight? Said I know I can. Listen, y'all come down. There was a man that came to the earth over 2,000 years ago. This man had power. He had more power than any other man. He healed the sick with just a one touch of his hand. But y'all know what I'm talking about. I want to let you know. Take water. I want to Anybody ever tried to tonight? Lift your hand He's been good to me. Everybody say it's good to you. Lift your hand He brought me from a far away. God bless you. Never God bless you. Yeah.
Amen.
So, I want to thank you, Brother Ron, for joining this. Let me interview you and letting me make the interview in memory of the boss man, the late Joe Lagun.
Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. Anytime you need us, give us a call. We want to always be there to help encourage you and keep you going, brother. We love what you're doing. We support you, okay?
Okay.
And we thank God for your support, okay? For all of the quartets, not just the Clouds. You support everybody, so we thank God for you, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but this phone is low. My phone just said like 7%, so I better get off this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, brother. Ron.
Take care of yourself, and I hope all go well for you, and keep us in your prayer, okay? And we do the same for you. All right?
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.